It's APS at Talladega. Alright, here we go. King James and Deer Hunter. We're going to lead them down to the restart zone, and we're going to get going here at Talladega Super Speedway. 3 races to go in APS Season 3. We are underway. Already fanning out. They're 5 wide as we go into turn 1. Sneds looks for the race lead on the bottom. Down the back straightaway for the first time. Here comes Timmy to the lead. Oh, looks like they might be wadding up. Oh, I forgot it glitches. Look at them fan out as they come into the trioval. One car's going around. It's Timmy. Oregon to the lead now. Up the track, I think that's Sneaky in the back. How about Cool Swag making a run to the inside. Once this rain starts clearing up, we'll be able to see him as they head into turn 3 and 4. Timmy all by himself in the back now. He's going to need to bank on a caution coming out here to catch back up. It's early, only in the first couple laps here. Look at this beautiful pack of cars as they come down to complete lap 3, I believe, going on to lap 4. Up to the high side goes Bear, looking to try to make something out of that high groove. Goes back to the middle and down to the bottom. Bear's not won in almost a year. Still on that winless streak and searching for his next win. A little bit of a breakaway by this first pack here. 3 cars in the back. Kind of losing touch. That's Maggio, who just took the points lead back from Mojo. We have a wreck. We had a wreck. King James and Mouse Cup. I think that's 2 cars. It might be a caution. We'll see as they come to the line. Josh is the leader. How about Mojo? Taking it away from Josh. We'll see if that brings a caution out. Because if so, Mojo would be your leader. It looks as though, yeah, I think they're under caution because they are not passing here. First caution of the night. Comes out really early. Not a whole lot of cars in tonight's race. So not really expecting a whole lot of cautions, but you never know. It's Talladega. Let's see, let me pull up Bear Stream here. I'm a little sick here, so excuse the coughing and my nasally voice. Alright, let's see. Mojo the leader. 2 is outside. Running in second is Oregon. Mojo trying to reclaim the top of the points chart. He's led it for the last couple of weeks. He took it away from Maggio after Maggio lagged out a couple weeks ago at Devil's Dirty D. Maggio won last week at the road course. So we got a good championship battle brewing here as they start to roll it off again. I believe the restart zone is going to be somewhere in the tri-oval here. Probably the ammunition sign. Here we go. Mojo hits the gas, gets a big jump on Oregon, who does not have to draft. He's going to be falling through the middle. So he tries to gather it back up. Maggio from the back to the lead. We'll have to keep an eye on him and Mojo as we go through the night. As the rain starts to clear up a bit. Timmy and Josh losing the front draft just on that off that restart. See if they can work together. As balls in your mom 40. As we have a crash with Sneaky and Maggio and Deer Hunter. No caution because remember we have not gone a lap after the last restart. Now we're able to call cautions, but it's a little too late. Those cars are gonna string out. This Cool Swag is in the back now, battling with Sneds, and they'll pick up Sneaky here. Let's go back to the front. And that wreck off of that, those multiple wrecks off that restart spread the field out. Usually when that happens is when we see long green flag runs. See what happens here. As Ace and Bear have a little trouble here. King James gets around him. Yeah, and that wreck really spread the field out a ton. You see Maggio's by himself and Sneds and Sneaky get into it. Take a look at Ethron. This is a Deer Hunter, rookie driver. Here's the front two packs. It's kind of split into two bigger packs at the moment. Here we go, Mojo. Oh, this Captain Mouse Cop gets really loose out of the tri-oval. It's one of the more dangerous spots on this racetrack. There's Lynx and Love. Missed a few races this season. Defending champion. Has not yet won this season after winning 3 times in Season 3. As the fog gets even thicker. Down the tri-oval, that second pack is going to group up with this front 5 cars at any moment. Because they are not working together. Neither of these packs are really able to get a good draft going. King James gets somewhat of a run. Here comes G4 to the bottom. They're trying to get something going here. Looks like Josh. Talk about that drafting carousel. Mostly successful with around either 3 to 4 cars at a track like this. Pack of 5 or more is going to be a little bit tougher, but it looks like they're making some headway here. They just need one big run to get up to that pack, the front 5 rather, as Ace gets a little contact from Josh and shot up the track. He gathers it back up. As in the back now, those cars that were kind of left in the dust after those wrecks are starting to form their own pack. I can't see them right now, but you can see the nameplates as we go down the backstretch. Maggio out to the lead of this pack. We'll see if he takes charge and coaches that pack to try and make a run up here to the front. As it looks like this has formed into one giant pack now. can hear the metal clanking. These guys are getting rough, getting physical here at Talladega. But you gotta be. Spotlight on Timmy here. I had to check the scoring pylon because I want to make sure he wasn't a lap down. But Timmy here running up in the front. He's had some pretty good runs on these super speedways in the past. So Bear just get really loose on the bottom on his stream. Oh, and Oregon almost gets turned off into the infield by Mojo. They save it. See what that does. Mojo looks like he will get back to the draft of the pack. Thought he was going to lose it there for a second. King James goes with him. Love goes to the lead. Big run on the bottom from King James here. Looks like Lynx's controller died. I thought that was a little bit of lag, but I think his controller just died. So he came to a dead stop down the backstretch. He was up there in that lead pack. Luckily, it did not take anyone with him. That could have been dangerous. These leaders, I love Captain through the middle between Mojo and Oregon. Captain's got 2 wins on the season. Not really in the championship battle, but what a comeback. It's been a long time. It's a pretty long winless streak. Won the last race of last season. He's won at Tangle and Devil's Dirty D this season. See if he can get another one. Looks as though Lynx... Okay, my fault. I thought Lynx's controller died because he was stopped down the backstretch, but it looks like it was the result of a little bit of lag. I don't know if that was on his end or my end, but nonetheless, he is back up here with this front pack and he's battling for the lead. And I have to imagine we're closing in on the first pit stops of the night. I think there's only 2 pit windows in tonight's race. We got a little bit of a shorter race. 75 laps instead of 99 because it's a bigger track. About almost 50-second lap times, but not quite. See what lap they're on as they come back around here. Bear looks pretty strong tonight so far. He spent the majority of it up in the front as they eclipse lap number 14 and go on to lap 15. I believe, I'm not sure, but I think this might be the first lap of this first 10 lap pit window. So we'll see what these guys do here as they come back down towards the pit lane entrance. Here we go. Let's see, it looks like pits are open. Ace chooses to come down late, but he's going to join Love and Mojo coming down pit road. Looks like a couple of cars in the packs behind are going to come down pit road, and that's going to leave Sneds and Deer Hunter out. Cool Swag, Josh, and Ethron choose to come down pit road. Let's take a look at the guys who stayed out. Do they decide to come down, or do they try to get a draft working to try and pull away from those that just pitted? And that could also allow the guys that did pit to gain some time on these guys. And that's why I really love having these green flag runs at these super speedways, because you can kind of almost flip the coin on the guys you're racing. You can get a draft going and try and pull away. So we see G4 and Oregon almost out of slipstream range there. These guys have not pitted yet. I believe as I watch, yeah, everybody behind these guys has so far taken their pits. Makes you wonder, how long do you really want to stay out here? You've got 10 laps to lap 25 to come in. If I'm these guys, if I'm G4 and Oregon, I'm probably going to come in right now and try to exit with the guys that pitted already. And it looks like Jimmy's fakes it, but Oregon comes down pit road. You do not want to come down solo, because look what's going to happen here. Is he going to have enough speed to catch back up with this pack of 3? Looks like he will not. Mojo, Fat, and Love been working together pretty good. We'll see if the guys ahead that have not pitted come down this time by. Because if that is the case, Oregon might be safe here. And they choose to stay out. Bold strategy with the 3 of these cars right here working together pretty well. They're making a lot of time. If I'm one of these guys up here in this front pack, I'm constantly watching the scoring pylon, seeing how much time we're making, if we're making any at all. And if we're not, then just it's time to bring it down pit road at that point. And as we see, the fog is started to clear up. It has stopped raining. The track is drying. And that is going to pick the speeds up here a little bit with a dry track. So a lot of guys having some trouble in the corners, fighting a loose condition, but now this track is dry and it's got a lot of grip. No, it doesn't look like it, but these guys have actually been doing some pretty good work as G4 now joins this pack of 3 to make it a 4-car pack. And sometimes when you add a 4th car after you've been working really well with three guys, it can kind of make it tougher, and it can allow the pack ahead to gain some more time. So we'll see if that affects whether or not they come down pit road, or do they decide to stay out until the very end of this cycle. So Bear leads that lap. Timmy, no, I've said it before, but he's looking pretty strong tonight in that unsponsored car. Unfortunately, he lost his team after missing a couple weeks, but he's back here. And he's hungry. I know he's hungry for that first top 10. And what a story it would be if he could turn that first top 10 into a first career win. Here we go. That pack's going to come down pit road. Where do they shake out? As there's contact. King James gets spun out by Lynx. And it looks like they'll just make it. But trouble for King James and Lynx. And that's another thing. You don't really want to come in to pit roads directly behind the guy in front of you because of stuff like that. It looks like they'll regroup. I think Timmy's not going to lose the lead draft, but they can regroup here. They can make some headway and connect back with this lead pack. 2 cars is still pretty fast around here, especially if this pack doesn't really work together. But I don't know, it might be hard, because I think they've got just enough cars to get a draft carousel going. Maybe not. Mojo holding Captain up a little bit. Opens the door just a little bit, but I don't think the run's there. As Bear gives Captain a shove down the back straightaway. We'll zoom out here a little bit, and it looks like Timmy starting to lose that draft a little bit. I think he's just barely in slipstream. Thinking they might be under caution here. Looks as though that caution has come out here. Notice they weren't trying to pass each other coming down the back straightaway. After the race, we'll have to try and see what that caution was for. I'd imagine it was a couple cars in the back. Got the Fox camera work going here. Maggio, he's struggled so far tonight. He's spent the majority of the race kind of in the back. This restart's going to give him another opportunity to get back up there into the front. If he doesn't get wrecked on this restart, I'd imagine there's probably no way he'll be back in the nether regions of this field. But we'll have to see. So we get a little bit of a pause here to kind of regroup. I'm going to use this to plug in my phone that's about to die. "21 minutes in." Let's see what lap they're on. Lap 23 of 75 so far. Mojo's been up in the front majority of the night. So is Captain. Both of them have multiple wins on the season. Mojo fighting for the championship. 3 weeks to go. Next week, these guys go to North Wilkesboro by Adder, and then the championship race will be decided at Disney World Speedway by Wig Splitter. Should be a fun stretch to the end of the season as we get back rolling here. Second caution of the night, only 2 cautions so far. I attribute that to the smaller field size tonight. Here we go. Mojo yet again with another good restart. He's been on it. Timing has been perfect tonight. See a couple of these guys in the back lose touch already. See Maggio up to the high side. It's dangerous on these restarts. Go King James through the middle. Captain looking for the lead. He's going to get a little bit of help from Mojo. Just barely inch ahead of Love. He's got the advantage on the bottom as they come out of turns 3 and 4. And back onto the front straightaway once again. How about Bear? Looking to try to make a lane on the bottom. How about Love? Finds a gap and uses it to get to the lead. Big run as it starts to stack up. Bear into the grass a little bit. No room to work with. And remember, you cannot pass in the grass here. Looks like he'll be safe. I think he was forced down there. No passing in the grass here. Have to keep all four wheels on the racing surface. Mojo Love to the lead. Mojo in behind him. Captain. Looks like only 2 cars have lost the draft so far. Sneaky's made his way back up. Deer Hunter and Sneds have lost the draft. Both kind of new to this hot ring style racing. You see King James right there getting a little bit of a draft off of Love. Love with a big run. He's got Mojo's slipstream. Mojo leaves the bottom open. And Oregon on the top gets a little bit of a run. He leads that top charge as we see one car get shot up into the outside wall. I think that was G4. Not sure who got him there. It's really good racing here so far. How about Cool Swag and Maggio? Both these guys have been in the back. Here they are now back up to the front, and the first time we see that purple car up at the front all night in the lead is on, I believe, lap number 28. The guy is racing for the championship right behind him. There's Bear. Tucks in behind Maggio for second place. Cool Swag hanging tough on the outside. G4 finds a run, and so does Ace. But the bottom is still king as they're getting crowded on the bottom. Mojo gets forced below the line after some contact with Bear. And he finds his way back onto the track. Didn't want to enter at a dangerous spot, so very nicely. Finds a hole as they went into turn 2. Oh, it just looked like they all wreck as they go down the back straightaway. Because I'm a little far away. A little farther away than where I need to be. That's fine. Here goes that Lynx to the front. No, it's Josh. Josh scored his first Sunday win a couple weeks ago in TNS, and then backed it up the week later. Love gets shot hard into the outside wall after contact from Mouse Cop. He'll keep going, though. And as they crash, going into turn number 2, Ethron and Josh involved. Maggio is right there. I'd imagine that brings out a caution. See how they race back to the line. Just looked like a racing deal there to me. A little bit of contact, one car gets contact, and it stacks up. It'll potentially bring out our third caution of the night. Oregon gets spun into the wall, coming into the flag, and Mouse Cop, I believe, got him at the line as they wreck even more. If that's anything, that's a preview of what we're gonna see for the finish. Then I'm excited. Close finish there for the caution. Mouse Cop just barely edges ahead of Ace Insane Fat. As Fat had a big run and then Captain kind of side drafted him. They kind of made some contact, and that cut off the run that Fat had. But they'll both be on the front row here. Let's go back and I'll rewind here. The wreck happened on lap 29. Looks to me like someone got hit up, and it caused a couple cars to make contact with Josh, and I believe it was Ethron. Ethron went on his side and almost went over with that contact into the wall. And here we go. Another restart. Captain, seems like the bottom, whoever's leading the restarts, have been able to get a big jump. G4 goes to the outside with a run. Cool swag. Some contact from G4 allows that run to die off. As Love gives Timmy a big push. Timmy opens the door for him. And Bear sneaks around the inside to the race lead. As the entire field still in one place here. It's going to get a little dangerous. Still not able to call a caution here. If they do wreck, as they get to the line, they'll be able to. Entire field, no one has lagged out or left the race thus far, so still all 17 cars on the racetrack. Lap number 32. Still a long way to go as Ethron gets turned into the infield grass on the back straightaway. Like one car I couldn't quite see who made contact with him. More cars involved, more cars, even more cars back there between Sneds and G4. We'll see if that brings out the caution. Bear went way down below the line to avoid that mess on the back straightaway. And Fat will get the lead, I believe, on this restart. Just barely at the line. We'll see if that's a caution or not. Believe it will be. We'll have to see if there's some question as to whether or not Bear or Fat was at the line. From my angle, it looked like Fat may have crossed the line first. I think Bear's probably saying he got it. But those kind of 3 wrecks in one happened there, as we saw Ethron get spun out into the infield on the back stretch, and then looked like a couple of cars had some trouble going into turn 3, and then Sneds and Deer Hunter had some trouble coming off of turn 4 to bring out I think our either fourth or fifth caution. I'm not really keeping track. I think that was our fourth caution of the night. We have not yet seen the big one. So we'll have to keep a watchful eye out for that, as Bear, race control will call him the leader on this restart. He gets a big jump, big gap between him and Josh. It's going to give Josh a big run, and he'll get to the outside and take the race lead. Maybe not. Not clear enough. Bear still gets to the inside. Josh will have the advantage coming off of turn 2. Here's Mouse Cop. And once again, the cars in the back did not get a good restart. Look at how quickly they lost this lead pack. But just not getting in line and getting a good draft going as King James gets hit. I believe Ethron got him. See who waits, and I believe it was Ethron. It looks like he might be waiting. Indeed, it will be Ethron. He's going to have to wait there for King James. Might have gotten his right rear quarter panel coming off of the corner. Got him into the wall. We see that a lot at tracks like these. Just barely taps someone kind of off center in these hot rings especially. You can turn them up into the wall or even down into the infield grass. Here we go. Battle's still highly contested for this race lead. You see just about 6-7 wide maybe. Look at this. Mojo just barely call Mojo the leader on that lap. 6 cars wide through the tri-oval. And this track is pretty wide as Bear gets spun. Captain's on his side. Ace goes around. As they just barely miss Ace. That could have been big. That'll bring out the caution. Bear got turned coming out of turn number 2. I don't know if he came down on Captain or what. We'll have to take a look at the replay. But here's the race back to the line. Maggio through the middle. He's going to try to shake the draft. Josh is going to get a big run, though. Here comes Love to the outside. Love. He's going to be the leader. Let's take a look at an onboard shot from Bear. He's down on the bottom here in behind. Cool Swag for the race lead, and it looks like Timmy had a big run, nowhere to go with it, and decided that he was going to drive straight through Bear. I don't know if he had a little help from behind him or what, but looks like Timmy came in a little hot. Took Bear with him. It's Cool Swag. I don't know what's going on there. See Boost here. It's up here in the booth. He's in the booth next door to me, so he's not inside. We'll see if he decides to come in here at some point, but here we go. Love's the leader on this restart. He's had a pretty good night. He's been solid. Look at behind them. Cool Swag and Maggio. They've held tough here. And they've held service ever since they've got back up to the front. A little bit of an issue on that restart, changing lanes. Cool Swag and the pack is split up already. Not sure if the guys from about 8th on back got the word for the restart or not. But it looks like they'll be okay, as Oregon is going to connect with the front few. Here's Lynx in the middle, and Love still holds that lead. Cool Swag to the bottom. Big run coming from King James right there. Couldn't go anywhere with it. As you see, Mojo had to back off and go down below the yellow line. I know there's no yellow line here, but we'll just call it that. Try and scrub off some speed. King James and Lynx battle for the race lead. Look at this, Fat and Mouse Cop to the back of the pack. As we have a big crash. Can't see the names. It's a white car, but Ethron and I believe... Oh, Love gets turned around. Yeah, it's G4. Mouse Cop, I think, may have been the cause of that. He's waiting, but Bear is going to... Looks like he'll lead them to the next restart. Another big crash. Just a couple cars involved. This time happening coming into turn 3. Couldn't quite see who got who. I saw a white car get turned around. May have been Lynx. See, back end of that car is all jacked up. Big damage on that car. So we're coming up on our second and final pit window. I believe we'll open at 45. So we still got a pit window to go. They will go caution free at lap 70, I want to say. Still battling a little bit of a chest cold here. Just want to take this time to remind everybody that nobody cares about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. As we head back to the restart, another caution. And what do we say? Cautions breed cautions, and that has rung true here for these last couple laps. See what happens here on this restart. The pack has stayed together pretty much these last few restarts. I think that's been a major cause of why we're seeing these cautions, because the wrecks are not happening on the caution-free lap. Big run from Mojo. Can't go anywhere with it, so he gives Bear a shove. Maggio gets a hit from Mouse Cop as he enters the race lead. Mouse Cop's been pretty dominant all night. See Sneaky trying to get in behind. Couple cars going around in the back. G4, King James, Sneds, Timmy all caught up. No caution. And that certainly will spread these packs out. What I was just talking about. We haven't seen that on the last couple restarts. That could mean a green flag run could be brewing here. So you see now, it's really 3 packs now. Got this one up at the front and 6 of them in behind them. See if these guys try to get a draft carousel going here. A lot of experienced drivers up in this front pack, but also the 2 championship contenders. Go back further. Josh, big loser on that restart. Caught up in that little mess off of turn 4 with Ethron. And I believe this is Sneds back here. No, it's Deer Hunter. My mistake. Let's go back to the front. Kind of missed what happened here. Looks like this pack is now turned into 3 cars instead of 6. Things happen at lightning speed here. There we go. Pull Bear's stream back up. Closing in on the final pit window. Saying just a minute ago, A lot of experience up here in the front. Mouskop definitely being one of those guys. He's now eclipsed over 200 starts on Sunday nights. Very impressive run for him. Ace still looking for that first career win. Cool swag. Built a little bit of a winless streak. Hasn't won since last season. And we talked about Bear. Is on a winless streak of almost a year. We know he's hungry to get back into victory lane. He's had a couple shots at it this season. Remember, just barely lost at Bayside to Mojo. We know he's hungry to get back to victory lane. Can't count out the competitiveness of these two guys right here, Maggio and Mojo. It seems like every season, these last few seasons, it's come down to one or two or three guys battling for the championship. And these guys, once again, both of these guys, within mere points of one another. Maggio still searching for that second championship. He's lagged out a couple times this season. Both times he thought maybe the championship is going to slip away from him, but with that win last week, he's right back in the mix. Does he get his first championship this season? See Mouskop go to the lead. Now these guys aren't really working together, but they've got a pretty good gap to this little pack right here of three cars who haven't really made a lot of time. They just kind of hung out where they are. But then it's a long way back to this pack right here, where Love has kind of just been relegated to, unfortunately, after being up front for a big part of this race. So we get a little bit of spotter audio from the 20 of Bear. Looks like he's trying to call Captain Mouskop on the phone. I don't know if that means they're going to pit together or what. Seems like a little communication between those teams is going on right now on whether or not or when they're going to pit. Sweet, cool swag to the lead. And this has turned into somewhat of a long green flag run here. I believe the pit window instead will open at lap 55. As we've gone past lap 45 and I have not seen anyone yet go down pit road. So I'm thinking that window will open up at lap 55. As that pack right here, this pack of 5, is gaining some ground on Sneaky, Oregon, and Lynx. We're trying to do some communication with his running mates here in this front pack on when they're going to decide to pit here. And it looks like 3 of these guys will come down pit road. I believe maybe the pit window was open. See, I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I guess. 6 coming down pit road for their final stops of the night. It's been open for a while. I don't know if they didn't know it was open or if they've just been trying to play the field and stay out as long as they could. And Mojo has some trouble. That looked really weird. Looked like he just drove down into Bear and lost it. He'll be fine, though. He's going to get back in that lead draft. That could have been costly. And they will stay out here. We take a look back here. More coming down pit road for their final stops of the night. King James and Sneds. Maggio to the race lead. Bear in tow. He goes to the lead now. As the laps continue to wind down, it's going to be interesting to see. When these guys come down pit road, do they split up? Do they try to play some mind games? Find who they work best with and try to go down with them? Or will they all just come down together? I know if I'm the leader, if I see one person jet down pit road, I'm probably going to be a little bit hesitant, because you never know who stays out and who doesn't. You could be left in the dust with only 2 cars in a pack, and the rest of the guys ahead of you continue on. But the laps of this pit window are winding down. There's about 2 to go to take their last pits of the night. And once they do pit, we'll see the progress of this pack as we see a little contact between Oregon and Sneaky. Well, until lap 55, they're on lap 53 right now. And they got to be careful coming on. This is a very wide pit road, but still a lot of room for error. And it looks like 4 of them are going to come down pit road, and that's going to leave Maggio and Fat out. Do they continue on? I don't think they have much of a choice here, because they're going to have to pit within these next 2 laps anyway. Will it be costly, though? Because this is a pack of 4. See how organized they get before they decide to pit. Go back to the front here. Kind of figured something like this, a scenario like this would have probably played out. Here they go. Do they pit? And it looks like they will. So make sure to stay very far away from each other as they hit those stop strips. It looks like they won't lose any. Won't lose much, if at all, as they circle. All these guys circle back out with each other. This is the last lap to take a pit, and I believe everybody has taken their pits. So we are done with pit stops for the remainder of this race, as we got 21 laps to go. About 16 until we go caution free. Not many opportunities right now for a 3-car caution as Sneaky lags out. Let's see where his car ends up. I don't know. I don't think he pulled off. I didn't see him pull off anywhere. I think his car is off the track. I'm looking for it and I don't see it. So I think we'll be okay, but unfortunate, tough ending for Sneaky's night. Not the way he wanted to end it. Behind the wall. As Ace goes to the lead, he's had a lot of great runs this season. Want to highlight his great 3rd place. It looks like Boost might be going out there to get his car. I don't see his car out there. He might be stuck behind an Aviation sign. But back to Ace. He finished 3rd at Corona Speedway a few weeks back. Ties is the best of his career. And that was at a very difficult track, and he's still hungry, still searching for that first career win. Could tonight be the night? He's got a win in the Clash at Daytona. A few seasons back in TNS Season 6. But has not won a points-paying event. And with Sneaky lagging out, or leaving, leaves Oregon and Ghostly, or rather Lynx, by themselves. And these guys are beating and banging on each other a little bit. I don't know if the caution's out or what. Caution might be out here. And I believe the caution will come out, and that's going to change a lot of things here, because it looked as though we were going to get a long run to the finish. I don't know what caused that caution. May have been a result of a dead car or maybe an incident in the back. But regardless, that changes everything, because we've got just under 15 laps to go, and that's going to bunch the field up again. It's going to give guys like Lynx a chance. Lynx, who was up front early in the race, got caught up in some wrecks off of the last restart. And now this is going to be his opportunity to compete for the win. As they fall back in line, only one car has DNF'd thus far, and that is Sneaky, who will finish unofficially so far 17th place. So they'll have points to sort out at the end of the race, maybe potential penalties. I don't think that'll happen, but nonetheless. Mojo, the race leader, has led a lot of this race so far. And when we look at these coming weeks, think of the guys that are battling for this championship and their strengths and weaknesses on different types of tracks. Obviously, next week we go to a short track, and Maggio just kind of all out dominated this season on the short tracks. And then we've got a medium, which honestly could be a toss-up between Mojo or Maggio, in my opinion. Both of them have had a lot of success on the mediums in the past, especially this season. Mojo has been really good on the mediums and super speedways, and tonight could be a toss-up as well. As we see, Boost has left the building. Boost here is a spectator tonight, not racing. And the question is, will this be the final restart of the night? You know, there's still a long way to go before we hit caution free, but they'll restart on lap 59 here. Caution free at lap 70. And Mojo controls a restart. He's done a good job all night. Let's see, Captain. Good restart this time. Here comes Maggio to the lead. He's going to bring Coolswag, who decides to... I think they were thinking the same thing there for a second. Coolswag decided to go low. He should have went high there. He would have had the run. But that forces Mojo below the line. That stacks him up. Here we go. Do we see a wreck here? Whole field's together. This has been a problem spot right here. Turns 3 and 4, especially the exit of 4 all night. Off of these restarts, as we see G4 into the back of Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter gathers it back up. We'll see what happens there. Does G4 wait on him? Looks like he's slowing up a bit. How about this Maggio? Aggressive move to the outside. That'll give him the race lead, just clear of Mojo, as Timmy washes up a bit. Boy, he's squirrely. As 2 cars go around, Bear goes around with Sneds. They save it. Only 2 cars. I don't think that's enough to bring out the yellow. Still a lot of cars left in this front pack. Tough break for Bear if he doesn't catch a caution here. He's been up front a majority of this race. He's got 3 other cars that help him as Timmy almost gets turned by Mojo. And they're wrecking. Love into the wall, Lynx into the wall hard, and that'll most certainly probably bring out this caution here. On lap number 61, Lynx with a heavy impact head on into that wall. As he race back to the caution here. Josh has the lead. Maggio with the run. Run's going to come from Captain here. We'll see if Maggio blocks. And this is really an opportunity to test out some moves for the end of the race. And Mouse Cop will lead him to the next restart. You can really use these cautions, racing back to them, as an opportunity to test out some moves you could probably use on the last lap. Try and prepare yourself for how it's going to play out. Mouse Cop leads him back to the restart, trying to get his third win of the season. Career resurgence, very resurgent season for Mouse Cop. He'll line up to the point lead next to the point leader Maggio. And this caution is going to give Bear an opportunity. Looks like he respawned to get a fresh car. He had 4 tires on it. Going to be back up in the front. God willing, he doesn't get caught up in a wreck here. But I like that decision. Get a fresh car here for the end of the race. And here we go. Mouse Cop, chance to lead his first restart of the night. See, Maggio was on his toes there, but didn't quite get the run I think he wanted. Lines up in behind as you see them stack the bottom. King James gets around it and gets to the race lead. But what we'll start to see is, as these laps continue to wind down, is do these guys start to hold the bottom early? I know it's really early now. We're still just about 10 laps away from the finish, and that is a long time here at Talladega. But we'll have to see what these guys try to do here. Still a big pack, so I don't know if that's smart to do that yet. And a lot of room to pass. Here comes Bear back to the front on the outside. Mojo in the back here. That's a dangerous spot to be in, but he's going to take this run, and he's going to fight his way through the middle and to the bottom, threading the needle. Couldn't tell that he was hungry for this race win, and there's your evidence right there. He's still on the bottom. Maggio goes to the lead, and the Lynx almost gets turned around with some help from King James, and they gather it back up. They got to be these guys got to be careful here. Any slight bump could cause a giant accident. Mouse Cop with a big gap between him and Mojo, and that's going to close with a huge run. Josh has a little bit of a run. Maggio still circulates to the bottom. Big crash. One car's going down pit road. It's King James. That's going to be 3. He spins it out into the wall. This is going to bring him to the caution. G4, Deer Hunter, and King James involved in that one on lap number 66. And the race intensifies. It just seems like every time we go to these super speedways, these late race cautions, you don't really see a green flag run at these types of tracks too often to the finish. Doesn't look like we're going to see a long one to caution free, because we only got a couple laps. We're on lap number 66. They'll restart on 67 and get to that magic number lap 70 when we turn up the heat here. These guys got to stay focused here and look at the task at hand, and that's winning this race, especially these championship contenders, Mojo and Maggio. You don't want to be too aggressive so that you get caught up into a wreck, but you want to be just the right amount. so that you can win this race. Here we go. Maggio hits the gas. Cool Swag tucks in behind him on the bottom. Timmy looks for some space. It's not there. Almost turns him around. Bear up into the wall with Fat as a stack up happens in the back. You do not want to be in that area of the pack. Is one car, Cool Swag. Some lag there. He's going to find his way back up in the front. Look at these guys starting to hog that bottom. It's go time here. You can just feel the intensity start to ratchet up. These guys get a little more friendly with the bumpers. Sometimes you don't have a run, and then you got to hit the guy in front of you and make a run. As we see Bear do just that. Hit the guy in front of you so that he gets a shot, and then you can get slipstream and get around him on the outside. Textbook. As we see Love do somewhat of the same thing. He gets around on the outside. And that's really the big thing about this track. This back straightaway is so wide that holding the bottom isn't really pointless. It's definitely not as much of an advantage as other tracks. Bear to the race lead. Here's Ethron. Ethron has been strong on the super speedways in the past. Still searching for career win number 1. He's been part-time this season once again. What a story would it be for him to end up in victory lane after the night he's had. He's had some struggles. Almost went on his roof at one point. But here he is in the race lead with Love in behind him, still searching for his first win of the season. Oregon in the middle on the high side. And Sneds in the back all race, but look at him trying to make that high line work. He could be going to the front here. Sneds in just his first couple of starts comes from an open wheel background. But he's loving it here in NASCAR, and he's having a good time, and he's up here in the nitty-gritty and in the late stages of this race. Look at that run he gets. He's hungry. He's been playing with the draft all night, and he's kind of played it safe. He's been in the back. He's caught some lucky cautions. But how about Ace? Love with the run. We'll see what he can do with it. Just barely edges ahead of Ace for the lead. And with that, we are caution free. No more cautions to the end of this race. You see two cars starting to lose the draft. It's G4 and Deer Hunter. Five laps to go. Josh just barely edges ahead of Ace. And here comes Ethron once again. Will he be clear? He will not. Here's King James to the race lead. 4 to go this time. They go through the tri-oval. And like every time we go to Talladega, we want to remind everybody, as if you didn't already know, the finish line is not in the tri-oval. It is on this front straightaway here. So just make a mental note of that. Ace gets a bump and run from Mojo. You don't see that on the super speedways that often. Got him loose. No harm, no foul. Nobody wrecked. Man, it is just a fight for that inside right now. Ethron back to the lead. Cool Swag in behind him. That second car in the bottom. King James tucks in behind Cool Swag, who moves to the outside. Josh goes outside of him. Fat tries to do the same, but here's Love. He finds himself a hole. 3 to go. And Cool Swag has never won on an oval in the NASCAR Cup Series. Will tonight be the night? Maggio stuck in the middle of this pack right here. Definitely a dangerous place he wants to be. He wants to be right there at the bottom, but he's stuck on this outside. He's going to make it work, though. On the very outside, here he is. Bear gets up in front of him. But Mouse Cop and King James now with the run to the lead. And in the past, we've seen that outside here, out of the tri-oval work wonders. You think back to Glenna last year. One with a run from the outside. 2 laps to go. As they're stacking up into the wall hard, multiple cars involved. Love, Timmy, Lynx, Cool Swag, and Ace all caught up in it. But it's not over yet for these guys up at the front, still racing hard. Sned's up the track, but it's Captain. And Ethron with a run on the outside into the tri-oval. Sneaks out in front of these 2 guys up at the front. 1 lap to go. Maggio spins the points leader. 1 lap to go. Bear spins Maggio off of his nose. And Mojo is up in the front pack. That is costly. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Big run coming from Josh. Help from Captain Mousecop. Does he decide to go to the outside? He does. Here comes Sneds. A little block from Josh. Not enough of a run, but here comes King James. Through turns 3 and 4 one more time. Who's going to come around to win this race? Push from Ethron for Captain or Cameron and Joshua, but through the tri-oval. Sneds has room on the bottom. Bear goes to the top, but it's not going to be enough. Josh gets the block. Captain goes to the high side, and Josh will get his first career APS win at Talladega. King James comes home second, and Bear comes home third. Maggio wrecks again. Terrible last lap for Maggio. Unofficially, Maggio is going to come home in the 15th position. But Mojo, wrecked on the last lap as well, is going to come home 14th. Maggio may have dodged a major bullet there with that. But Josh, like we said earlier, got his first career win a couple weeks ago. Backed it up the very next week with a win. And here he is again. Went over 100 starts before he won a cup race on Sunday night. And does it again. Timmy just barely misses a top 10. As we welcome Booth to the booth. Captain got the fastest lap of the night. 42.202. How about Sneds? Stayed in the back to avoid everything all race. Comes home with a top 5, finishes 4th. His first career top 5. I think his first career top 10.
4th. I got fucking 4th. Get it right up, yees.
And we're down here with Sneds right now. Sneds, good race. You played it safe. You stayed in the back for the majority of the first half. How'd you get back up to the front there at the end? You were really strong there at the end.
Stealing people's slipstream. Staying on the outside, because that inside was torture. You stay on that inside, someone's taking you out.
We know you come from an open wheel background. How did you enjoy this NASCAR action tonight?
That's one of the best races I've done yet. That's one of my favorite ones.
And that's Ned. He comes home 4th. Let's talk with Ace Insane Fat. Do we have Ace Insane Fat? Looks like we're not gonna have a word, but we're standing down here with Ethron. Ethron, you were up there at the front at the end of the race. What happened there?
I don't know. I had that. I was so confident. Like, it's probably the race that I was the most confident in. I was just on the inside, hugging it, trying to avoid somebody passing me on the inside. And I think somebody went into the grass and just sideswiped me and made me lose enough speed to just lose the pack and made me go down to 6th. It was sad as shit.
Well, solid night. At least a solid ending, top 10 for you tonight. We're also standing down here with Barry, who finished 3rd, unofficially right now. What happened there between you and Maggio with 2 to go?
My blood is boiling.
Well, big points night for you tonight. How do you take this into these final 2 weeks, knowing you have some positive momentum? All right, Bear coming home unofficially with the top 3. All right, we're down here with Timmy. Timmy, you were up front early in the race, got relegated to the back for the middle part. Just missed out on your first top 10. You might still be audible.
Yeah, Randy. I don't know what the fuck happened in the final 2
We
laps of the
apologize
race.
for that
Some
language.
fucking idiot. I don't know who it was. I was on the outside. Fucking killed everybody. Almost came back. Almost got the top 10. Hoping that the slick would carry me to that first top 10, but it didn't. And I was kind of hoping that on one more person wrecking at least.
Unfortunate for you tonight, Timmy. Good job. Good 11th place finish.
Best finish I've ever gotten though.
Ties a career best, yeah.
Joshua was my murderer. Yeah, Mojo tagged so Mojo tagged Josh, and Josh spun into me. That was, oh my god.
Wait, where did Mojo finish?
Oh, I had that. I fucking had that. Oh.
Where did Mojo finish?
I don't know.
Because depending on where Mojo finished, that might be my first top 10.
I think I could.
All right, that's going to do it for coverage from Talladega. We'll see you next week at North Wilkesboro.
I'm turning my voice now.
All right, we'll do it. Bear and Maggio's interview.
I think I could have had first, but I ended up
We'll
going
do.
on the
I
grass.
can't
and was
fucking
like,
believe you.
overtake.
I'll review it after the race. You went in the grass and fucking dumped me. What the fuck are you doing? We'll review it. You're a lane and a half in the fucking grass. What do you mean you're gonna review it? You dumped me.
Why are you so
I don't
angry?
even know
Wait,
what are you even talking about? I'll review
Some
it. It
harsh
was so
words on
obvious
you.
that you wrecked me.
I went into the grass to avoid you because you come down while I have a slipstream run.
So you're supposed to let off. You don't just go in the grass and fucking wreck me. I'm coming down, I'm clear of you, and then you just go in the grass and dump me. I'm clear of you the entire time that you're on the track, and you go into the grass to wreck me.
Stop fucking yelling at me.
It's pathetic. And then you're like, oh, I'll review it after the race when it's so obvious that you wrecked me.
Some harsh words down here in the pit
Oh
lane.
my gosh, what's his problem?
Maggio, not happy. Maggio is not happy with Bear after this one. Costly points night for Maggio. Alright, we're down here with Bear. We're down here with Bear again after Maggio came up to Bear and had some harsh words for him down here. What exactly did you guys talk about?
Bear, speak.
Hold on, I'm fucking looking at something. Say that again, Vapid?
Alright, we're down here with Bear. Maggio just came up to you and had some harsh words for you. What did you two talk about?
He's just angry at me. I mean, it's just this type of racing. He made a very sharp move to get to the inside, and I had to run. Like, there's only so much time for me to lift or get in the grass, and he should. I don't know. I feel like he should have looked in the rear view mirror instead of just expecting me to slam on the brakes.
Well, if you do not get points behind Maggio, finish 15th, you'll end up with a third place here tonight. How do you take that moving forward?
Well, there's not much to take forward. Just gotta hope to do better next season.
All right, Bear. That's Bear. Came up with unofficially a third place finish. Let's talk to the man himself, the man who won the race. Josh is down here with us, although he doesn't have his voice box on him, so he's gonna have to do some sign language here. Josh.
I'll talk to him.
Josh, what a run here tonight. 3 wins in the last month. Took you over 100 starts to get your first Sunday win, but here you are, between
Mickey
here and
Mouse
TNS.
win. Mickey Mouse win. He's lucky I got spun out. I would have had that shit. Fuck you, Josh. Fuck you.
Josh had a strong car all night.
That win there from.
Steered clear of, pretty much steered clear of the calamity there when it went caution free. Stood on the bottom, pretty much textbook.
Love you, Josh.
Did not allow anybody behind him to get a big run around him. Didn't really even have to block too hard there at the end. Josh comes home with his third career Cup Series victory.
I will say, out of all the people that could have won, I'm honestly glad that Josh won, because I had an incident with him early on in the race, and we spent a good amount of time working together, and we stuck together. So I'm honestly glad that he was the winner. Still disappointed of how
Josh, do another burnout.
But wait, you're taking pictures and you didn't tell me? But
Alright, that's going to do it